Roxanne is more than just a friend. He's my battle buddy. He's my left hand. We're connected by a leash, but it's like our umbilical cord. He's sometimes more in tune to me than I'm in tune to me. And he knows more about me than I do sometimes, and he lets me know what's going on.
Shelter dogs are fantastic for veterans. They have so much love to give, and I think there's a sort of a kinship.
I joined the Army in 1999, right after high school. I already had, a baby. Served 5 years in the United States Army as an infantry soldier. Came home, spent some time homeless, spent some time unemployed.
One of my veterans, he said to me, if they can heal, we can heal. I think they just see a lot of what these dogs have gone through, not only feel that they can provide something for them, they're like rescuing each other.
The war had changed me. I drank quite a bit, but my drug of choice was violence. I was having a relapse. I was starting to go back down a dark place that I had been before. That's when I called Pets for Vets.
Pets for Vets is a national charity where we rescue shelter dogs and we match the temperament of the dog to personality and lifestyle of veterans.
Pets for Vets is just a really great organization. Animals can be very therapeutic, and if they can save a couple animals, those animals go in great homes. Well, not only they're providing therapy for the person, but the dog is getting a loving owner.
My life's been impacted in having Roxanne, and normally they say that dogs take the personality of their owners. Well, I started to see the world through Roxanne's eyes. The way he would treat people, the way he would interact with people, the way he would interact with me. I started to let go of a lot of the vigilance. I started to let go of a lot of the tension, the anger, the guilt that I carried with me through life. I started to let go of my fear of being loved and of my fear of loving other people. What? What? He's like, Dad, we're in this open field, all this grass.
I think there's a lot of people that don't realize how much love they have in their hearts until they adopt an animal. And that animal, it'll change you. And I think that's what it does for the veteran.
Espera. Roxanne, come. The Roxannes was the name of the unit that my unit was attached to when we were deployed in Iraq. So rather than come up with a memorial name or try to figure out who I was going to name him after, I named him after the entire unit, the Roxannes.
When I met Adam, he really wasn't sure about, a dog. He thought it could help him. He was going through a lot of stuff. He was doing better, but he wasn't getting better. When he came to me, he said that he really wanted a large German Shepherd. And knowing his history and what else he had told me during that interview, I knew that I wasn't going to be giving him a very large German Shepherd.
We're going down here to the Orange County Veterans Collaborative to really drive policy and program concerning veteran services.
He was either looking, he said to me later, for a gun or a dog. Thankfully, he got a dog.
Originally, I told Clarissa I wanted a dog where I felt like I was armed as if I was in combat, a dog that I felt that we could go out and intimidate the world, maybe protect the world. I mean, he's a sleeper, he'll sleep wherever. So everywhere we go, he'll curl up and he'll be really quiet. You won't even know he's there. People forget he's there. She showed up with Roxanne. I was a little bit surprised because it was absolutely what I was not looking for.
We wanted a big, mean, tough-looking dog, and I'd gotten this really intuitive, brilliant soul of a dog.
I began to realize that, the next few months that he was exactly what it is that I needed for my journey and in terms of my own healing. Beso. Beso. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
He said he climbed into my bed, and that was the first night that I actually had a full night's sleep in a long time, and they've been inseparable ever since.
What's your favorite food, Roxanne? I am a business owner. I opened up a company. I help veterans with their VA benefits, and we're doing our part to end the VA backlog and make sure that veterans are earning the benefits that they apply for. A select few of us got to go to the White House, and me and Roxanne were chosen. I actually went out there with a nonprofit called Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, the AWN. You go to the White House and you're like, wow, here I am, the White House. But instead of getting starstruck, I mean, what is he doing? Squirrel!
Senator, squirrel.
I sit down in my chair, which is a really nice chair. What does he do? He crawls underneath, goes to sleep, just like he does everywhere else. And then, we come back to the West LA VA. A homeless guy comes up, and he goes up to the homeless guy and licks his face. Just at the White House a couple weeks ago. And it just gives you that perspective, you know? Appreciate life, appreciate where you are.
When I met Clarissa Black a couple years ago when she first came here and she told me about what she was doing, I mean, I was floored. I meet with a lot of rescue groups that do a lot of things for animals, but I thought it was just really cool at what she's doing, and for the military veterans, I mean, I think a lot of people forget about, you know, that they forget that we have these wars going on and that people are coming back.
I love you. I love you too.
It's like a brotherly love, staying at his side, and I think they both look out for each other. Rock-A-San has brought joy and the feeling and the emotion of knowing and understanding what unconditional love is.
The world was a nail and I was a hammer, you know? I was an infantry guy. When I got Rock-A-San, it just really started to change my outlook and perspective on it. You know, you take life and now you get an opportunity to give life and nurture life.
Wow. That's an old shot.
Yeah.
Wow. What's civilian life do to you?
I've often described our days like a dance. We walk side by side. We understand each other, we communicate, and you know, I live a normal life. I go to normal places, I do normal things. I don't do anything out of the ordinary. He just accompanies me, he goes to restaurants with me, goes on dates with me. He's so perfect in every way that he just fits everywhere I needed him to fit.
He's a rescued animal, he's been abused. So she warned me over the phone that he might not warm up to you, so don't get discouraged. But the very first time that I met him, he licked my nose.
Pets for Vets wants to present you with Miss Brady.
Hi. I just like sitting here and relaxing. It's so peaceful here. Ranger was a rescued animal. She was an abused dog. Like, look at him. I don't know who would want to do anything though.
When I met Ranger, he was at the Long Beach shelter, and he was just, you could tell there was something special about him. He just had this sort of old soul aura about him, and I thought that he was going to do very well for Jose. Ranger was very stoic and understanding, and that was going to play well for the calm Jose, who needed that kind of companion and buddy.
He still gets skittish around like the broom. If I'm sweeping or something, he'll take off. Loud noises, but so do I.
My first impression of Jose was that he could really benefit from having the right dog.
Ranger. Morning, baby, Ranger.
He didn't have a lot of people that he could count on at the time in his life, or that he could communicate what was going on to him. He just really needed a buddy to just be able to talk to unconditionally and not be judged, and to not have whatever it was he was saying, you know, affect the relationship.
When veterans come back, they have a hard time blending in with society again. I think to have people judging them or not understanding what they've been through, when you have a dog, that dog doesn't judge you. It just loves you.
The way I found Pets for Vets is probably by accident. When I was going through counseling and therapy at the VA, and my counselor told me about an organization that trained dogs for veterans with PTSD. I did some research and I submitted my paperwork, and about a week later, I got an email back from Clarissa Black.
The way it starts is once we get the application, we'll set up an interview where we get to sit down and meet with them and really just learn about what's going on for them. What is their lifestyle? What type of dog is going to fit in with that lifestyle?
When I did the interview, she stated that she needed to look around all the shelters in the LA area, and that they were going to rescue one, that they were going to start sending me pictures of dogs and see if I'd like the dog.
We have a full shelter here where we do adoptions, we do holding for stray animals that are waiting for their owners to come back and get them.
The Long Beach shelter is wonderful. They've been so supportive of Pets for Vets. So I'm looking for a dog for a veteran, and we passed this black lab here. He seems really calm and sweet, so we're going to see if there may be a temperament and personality match.
We're basically a safety net for the animals. They have some place to go when their owners don't want them anymore, can't keep them anymore, and they have some place that can take care of them, shelter them, provide food, water, and then hopefully find them a new home.
Can we meet him?
About, I'd say probably a month later, she sent me a picture of Ranger, and I told her that, you know, the very first picture she ever sent me of any dog was Ranger, and I told her that was it.
This is really great. This is what we are looking for when I'm assessing a dog, is really close physical contact, that social ability. And that's one of the first things that I look for, and then we'll move on to the rest of the assessment.
These animals here, there's nothing wrong with these animals. People think that shelter animals are all damaged and all these issues. There's not. I own a shelter animal. Thousands of people own shelter animals, and then there's a lot of great animals here that need homes.
There's looking at how they interact with strangers, there's checking teeth, there's about 12 different elements within the assessment that we go through.
Prior to even seeing Ranger in person, she told me that he's a rescued animal, that he's been abused, so he was a little skittish about meeting people, and so she warned me over the phone that he might not, you know, warm up to you quickly, so don't get discouraged. But the very first time that I met him, he approached me slowly, and he licked my nose. I like that, and I think it was like an instant connection.
Good, there you go, good.
I really feel like rescue animals know that they're being rescued, and I think that they reward their owners.
Since I met Ranger, a lot nicer people, I'm able to approach people, or people approach me, without, you know, having that hesitance or being calm about it. Ranger creates sort of a buffer zone between me and everyone else. Usually if there's a lot of dogs here, like he'll go do his thing for a couple minutes, then he'll come back, check in on me, and then he'll do his thing again. A lot of dogs, I just feel relaxed. I get along, sorry, but I get along better with animals than I do with people. But Rangers help change that a little bit. I used to try to avoid people, but because of how he is, it forces me, and it brings in the chicks. Huh, Ranger?
I named her Brady. There is a term, bradycardia, which is slow heart rate. That dog's supposed to help me to calm down, and when you're in a calm state, your heart rate slows down. Actually, this is my uniform. Yeah. So, this was my uniform. I haven't worn this for a while, but this is my badge right here. It's a little bit worn out, but...
It's not easy to get that badge, right?
Well, it is kind of... Anyone who gets this badge has a story, because you only get it when you're in combat and you treat somebody. So, I don't know what to tell you.
Jay Lee actually kind of reminded me a little bit of Jose, very reserved and didn't want to share a lot of information.
After I got out, I started to realize some of the signs and symptoms of stuff that I developed throughout I was in the military. And I was talking to one of the vets, and he has a service dog. And he told me that at nighttime, when he was getting nightmares, his dog would come and he would waking up, and he would just sit there and put his head in his stomach or in his lap until he calms down. I just thought, you know, might as well just take it a shot.
He was extremely shy, extremely quiet, and and didn't smile very much.
Right now, I'm trying to figure out and trying to establish my life right now. I have not met my dog yet, but I am kind of nervous to have a dog again.
I can see he's going to be so much more relaxed with this dog, especially once they get used to each other and once he learns how to command the respect and the trust.
Right now, I'm taking a photography class. It allows me to relax, and I think the magic of being in a darkroom is when you're actually printing on the film. You see a white printing film and it actually has nothing. But once you put the chemicals in it, you can slowly see a picture come. A picture says 1,000 words. I did take a picture of my combat medic badge, which I feel very proudful of getting one of those. So this is the lens, and this is my CMB, and everything else is a shallow background, but the center is focused. It just has a lot of meaning, and really you can just take a picture in a way where you just can express yourself without saying a word.
The day that I introduce Brady to Jay Lee, she will be outside with someone else and will basically explain to Jay what to expect in the way of her behavior.
First of all, I will have somebody next to me all the time. It's something that I got used to being in the military. We have always somebody to look out for, or somebody who looks out for us. We call it a battle buddy.
Clarissa is going to bring in Brady, and I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. Uh-oh, it sounds like Brady out there.
I did name the dog already. I named her Brady. That is because there's a term called bradycardia, which is slow heart rate, which I thought it was a good name because the dog's supposed to help me to calm down. And when you're in a calm state, your heart rate slows down.
We'll ask him to close his eyes, so it's somewhat of a surprise. Even though he's seen photographs and he's seen videos of her, he hasn't seen her in person. And when I tell you to open your eyes, you'll open your eyes, and I will bring Brady up to say hello to you.
All right.
When the dog comes in, I present the dog to him, and everybody cries. Jay Lee, Pets for Vets, wants to thank you for your dedicated service to our country. And in appreciation, we present you with Miss Brady. You can open your eyes. Hi. Hello.
Hi.
She wants to sniff you and get to know you a little bit.
We're not just placing any dog, we want to find the right dog. And what I've discovered through our program is that if you find and select the right temperament and everything works well, the training is geared towards that person. When they meet, even things that we haven't taught their dogs to do, they'll actually start to be in tune and pick up with their veteran. And that's because of the way that we've put them together.
It's cute.
He's already looking in your eyes. So sweet. I just got his first kiss. When you see them meet for the first time, you can definitely tell that it's been the right dog. There's some times with these meetings, and they see their dog for the first time, the dog kind of climbs into their lap and they lick each other. Well, the dog licks the veteran. And it's almost like this relief, this sort of breath that comes out. And in that moment, okay, I think this is going to be a good match.
To see him today is like a 180-degree turnaround. I hadn't heard as much animation from him in a long time, so that was extremely exciting. I think he'll be happy with this dog.
Actually, it's a lot better than I thought it would be. I did not know it's going to be this much, so I'm very grateful for them. Yeah, I think it's going to be very pleasing to have her around.
When I see that smile and when I see the dogs and the veterans meet for that first time, and you could just feel almost this relief off of them. And then I get that phone call that says, you know what, my dog came over to me, he put his paw on my knee, looked up at me, and I looked into his eyes, and I could just see what he had been through, and I told him everything. It makes me feel so good to do what I do.
I feel dogs man's best friend because dogs are very selfless.
I encourage veterans to go out there and take ownership of your treatment, take ownership of your transition. That's one of the things that Rockasan has taught me to do is take ownership.
A dog is man's best friend and woman's best friend because dogs want to be with humans.
To have something that just loves you no matter what you do, I think that's the reason that it's so special.
If it helped me go through my problems, or if it's helping me go through whatever it is that I'm going through with my PTSD, I'm positive it's going to help someone else. It's probably one of the most important things that's happened to me.